Welcome to Sri Shankara Smart Classes. In this session, we are going to analyze about the transactions which will impact on working capital. Working capital that we know, it's the difference between current assets and current liabilities. So how we can lead to current assets and current liabilities, it is going to increase or decrease by following these four regulations. Increase in current assets leads to increase in working capital. Decrease in current assets leads to decrease in working capital. Increase in current liabilities leads to decrease in working capital. Decrease in current liability leads to increase in working capital. So when you get the current assets and current liabilities, we have to analyze whether it's increase in current assets leads to increase in working capital, decrease in current assets leads to decrease in working capital, increase in current liability leads to decrease in working capital, and decrease in current liability leads to increase in working capital. So that is what we call it as regulations about current assets and current liabilities. When we go in detail about the transactions, may involve various accounts like current accounts, current assets and non-current assets, current liabilities and non-current liabilities, and shareholders funds. So for this purpose, we are going to categorize the balance sheet items into only two classifications. One is current account items and non-current account items. So here current account items only deals with current assets and current liabilities. We can call it as current items. Apart from current assets and current liabilities, we call it as non-current items. It is the major classification of current assets and current liabilities. Call it as current accounts. Apart from the current assets and current liabilities, we call it as non-current items. So we have three types of transactions basically. When type 1, when the transaction happens between two current accounts. In type 1, when the transaction happens between two current accounts, it leads to no change. Second one, when the transaction happens between two non-current accounts, again it leads to no change in working capital. But third type, when the transaction happens between current account and non-current account, it leads to increase or decrease in working capital. So basically these three types of categorization that we need to remember. One is when the transaction happens between the current account, that leads to directly no change in working capital. When the transaction happens between two non-current accounts, that leads to no change in working capital. When the transaction happens between a current account and the non-current account, it leads to increase or decrease in working capital. So that's what I told you already. The balance sheet items only the categorization. Any accounts we can classify it as current account and non-current accounts in nature. So how to solve the transactions with the help of these three types? So we should remember these three types for all transactions. So first step, one simple three steps. First, while analyzing the transaction, how we are going to analyze the transaction for journals, like the same way we have to analyze the transactions and we have to classify the accounts first. We have to classify the accounts. What are the accounts that are involved in each transaction? The second step, identify the accounts, then identify the nature of the account. If it is a current asset or a current liability, or non-current asset or a non-current liability, we have to identify the nature of the accounts and generation. Then we categorize it into current account and non-current account. There we can apply our three principles, three categorizations. We can easily find out it leads to increase in working capital or decrease in working capital. Look at the first transaction, issue of equity shares of rupees 2,50,000 for cash. So directly first step, identify the accounts. One is the equity share capital account. equity share capital account, another one is cash account. So identify the first accounts involved in each transaction: equity share capital account, cash account. Then categorize the transaction. Equity share capital is a non-current liability, so we can call it as non-current account. You can call it as non-current account. Then cash account. Cash is a current asset, so it comes to nature of current account. Hope you remember the three categorizations. First one is transaction happened between the two current accounts, no change in working capital. Second second categorization, transaction happens between two non-current accounts, no change. When the transaction happens between a current account and non-current account, it leads to increase or decrease in working capital. So identify, it's a third categorization. Identify the current account, either current asset or liability. So cash is the current asset. Look at the transaction, whether the cash is incoming or outgoing from the transaction. Issue of equity shares of rupees 2,50,000 for cash. That means we are issuing equity shares, that means we receive the cash. That means cash is coming in. Increases the value of cash. That means increase in current asset. Leads to increase in working capital. Leads to increase in working capital. Because cash is coming in, cash is the current assets. Increasing the value of current assets leads to increase in working capital. That is how the first transaction. Look at the second one now. Land was exchanged for machinery, rupees 1,50,000. So identify the accounts involved in the transaction here. So one is land account. Another one is machinery account. Now identify the nature of the account, whether it is current account or non-current account. Land is a non-current asset, so its nature is non-current account. Machinery is a non-current asset. Again, it leads to non-current accounts. So categorization 2. Any transaction happened between two non-current accounts. Transaction happens between two non-current accounts. So result shows no change unless and until the transaction provides either expense, profit or loss or income. So only the transaction here we recognize only two accounts. Land account is a non-current account in nature. Machinery account is non-current account in nature. So the transaction happened between two non-current accounts leads to no change in working capital. No change in working capital. Look at the third transaction now. Sold goods costing rupees 25,000 for rupees 30,000. So here we can recognize two accounts. Along with that, when you analyze 25,000 cost of goods sold for 30,000, that means it generates some revenue. So while preparing fund flow statement, if any direct expenditures or indirect expenditures or direct incomes, indirect incomes, so it leads to direct inflow or outflow of fund, that is also we have to recognize. So first identify the accounts. One is goods account, cash account. So goods account is current account, cash account is current account, but it leads to profit or loss. So we have to recognize one more account, profit and loss account. So it's income, so it should be credited. It's income, it should be credited. So we have to pass on subsequent transaction, that is profit transaction. Again, we should recognize profit and loss account and cash account. So basically first, the transactions happened between any current and non-current account. It won't change until unless it generates some revenue or expenses. So here this transaction because goods worth rupees 25,000 sold for rupees 30,000. So it leads to profit. It means P&L account credited by cash. So increase in cash. That is what the fund flow statement. In any of the way, it increases or decreases funds. It leads to increase in or decrease in working capital. So again, here cash is increases. Cash is increases. So profit and loss account created by cash. So cash account is increasing. Increasing current asset leads to increase in working capital. Increase in working capital. Then look at next transaction. Debtors of rupees 10,000 paid in cash. So two accounts. Debtors account, cash account. What is the nature of debtors? The current asset. So we can call it as current account. So what is the nature of cash account? Is a current asset. So we can call it as current account. You have to observe the transaction. Any profit or loss arises from the transaction? No. So the only transaction happened between two current accounts leads to no change in working capital. No change in working capital. Then look at the next transaction. Purchased machinery for rupees 75,000 in cash. Purchased machinery for rupees 75,000 in cash. So we have to identify two accounts here. One is machinery account and cash account. Machinery account and cash account. What is the nature of machinery account? Machinery account is a non-current asset. So you can call it as non-current account. And cash is the current asset. So we can call it as current account. Identify the current account, either current asset or current liability. So cash is the current asset. So analyze the transaction now. So we purchased the machinery. So machinery is coming in and cash is going out. So it decreases the value of cash. Decreases the value of cash. So decrease in current assets leads to decrease in working capital. Decrease in current asset leads to decrease in working capital. So with the help of this method, we are going to analyze the transactions easily and categorize the transactions, analyze the transactions easily, extract the accounts related to each transaction, identify the account nature of the accounts, apply the categorization. You can easily find out either increase or decrease or do not change in the working capital. Thank you.